Okay, hey, it's Wally Dallenbach again. I'm on the second leg of putting this thing, getting it all greased up. In the prior video, go to your automotive store, tell them you want to get a tube of grease, and you want to. It's actually called. Let's see here, Mobilux EP1 lithium grease, and basically it's multi-purpose grease, and it should work fine on your pedal. So. Of course, when you take your Speed King apart and put it back together, you're breathing new life into it anyway. So I'm sure that grease is going to last. And I'm going to take the approach that if a little bit of grease is good, more's got to be better. So I'm going to go ahead and use this original Ludwig part to apply some grease down inside of this hub. And so here we go. I'm going to slather some grease down in there. Like I said, if a little grease is good, more's got to be better. The one side I packed in the other video, it's actually starting to, it kind of came out here between the casting and this rocker arm assembly, I guess, if you will. So here we go. It's important to get all the grease down in the bearings, so I'm just kind of, this is your outer race, that's what's called your inner race, and of course your ball bearings are on the inside there. So my concern right now is just to make sure that I'm getting this thing packed with grease, and I'm kind of just pushing grease down there in that open area. This is an open bearing, and then I'm going to go ahead and give it a little bit of a turn just to make sure that the grease is getting evenly distributed inside of the bearing. We're going to go ahead and set this thing on its side. Let's put this in. It's fall, of course, and here the city is out picking up leaves, so you might hear their vacuum cleaning machine going by. And basically I'm using this to and that's kind of cool because I just pushed that bearing back down in there, and you can see how the grease is coming out. So we know we have a good application of grease down in there. Now, I'm going to go ahead and pack this thing a little bit more. Like I said, I'm going to take the approach that if a little bit of grease is good, more has got to be better. Okay? So pack that dude down in there, and let's go ahead and grease this guy up. Grab my spring. Get that guy assembled. And once again, we want to be aware of where this flat spot is up here, because there's only enough room for this guy to slip up in there, because you'll see when you get your pedal taken apart. Okay. I might have gotten a little bit of trouble here in this one. There we go. Had to work itself through that flat. It's always kind of good before you start getting sloppy and putting your grease in to go ahead and do what I call like a dry fit, just so you understand how it goes together. So I'm going to go ahead and grease up these threads. And just kind of do a loose assembly on this thing. Now here on these washers, what I did is I took them and I buffed them, and then I put a clear coat, acrylic, not acrylic, but whatever Rust-Oleum's got. It's a clear. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna make sure that where it says Ludwig Chicago, let's see what it says here. Chicago, USA, Ludwig Drum Company, and I'm gonna put that on the top. Make sure it looks pretty, because what's the point? Now, I didn't get all crazy and paint this. I shouldn't say that. I didn't go to the extreme and strip this thing up or paint it, or it just didn't need it. And I'm operating on the theory that if it's not broke, I'm not going to fix it. Okay? Now, what I'm going to do to finish this thing up, of course, is I'm going to spray a little brake solvent, brake cleaner in a rag, wipe this thing down. Oh, look at all that grease that just came out of there. Isn't that great? And let's see here. I'm going to take a rubber mallet and I'm going to give these guys a little tap and smack them back into position. And that should pretty much do it, you know. Gosh, look at that. You can kind of jiggle it around a little bit there, pull that rocker. The grease will start working itself out. And hey, you know what? You can take this thing apart. I mean, if you're a heavy player, and what I mean by heavy player is that you play your drums a lot or you're a pro, you know, it's probably good to take this thing apart every when you get some time off. And you know, I've shown you the basics, how to take it apart and do maintenance on it. And really, at this point, it's clean. All you have to do basically is knock these caps back off and then just apply some more grease in there. But I think you'll be fine, you know. So everybody, thanks once again for watching my videos. It's such an extreme pleasure to do these for you guys, because I know there's people out there that know how to do this, but then there's other people who don't. And so once again, everybody, I'm so grateful. Peace, be cool, and take care. Bye.